every feature of Java is an object. And those objects are placed in a chain of inheritance, actually, just like we've been working with the employee and manager class, with the object at the top, or what we might say more succinctly, the object class at the top. There is a class named object that you can use in your programs, though it's not very useful. But I thought I'd just show you how you can use it or how it does work. So let's get started. The object class is declared with the keyword object, just like any other class would be. An instance of the object class can take on any other object. So for example, if I want to make an object an employee object, I can do so just by writing this line of code like so. In fact, let's just go ahead and compile it to see what happens. Let's clear my screen right here. So it compiles and it runs, although it doesn't really do anything. We haven't told it what to do. The problem is that even though it can take the object, there's really not much it can do with it. But let me show you an interesting thing you can do with the object class. You can display an object's class or their class name. So I can write inObject get class dot get name right here, and that should tell me that object is an employee object. So let's try that and see. Compile it again and then run it. Type of an object, employee. So you would think that you could do anything you can do with the regular employee object, so we'll try that. Display info. But there's a problem. We know that display info is a method of employee class, but we can't call it directly from an object. So, to be truthfully honest, the object class really doesn't have much practical use in our programs. However, if for some reason you do need to work with the object class, you can change an object into a full-fledged member of a class by using something called casting. So for example, we could write employee E1 equals employee and object. What we're doing here is we're taking an object and converting it or casting it. Let me put that word out there beside it in a comment. Casting an object as an employee and then storing it in the employee object E1. Now if we do that, we can display the data from E1 using display info. So let's try that. Save the file. Let's clear our screen and raise it up just a little bit. Let's compile again. And let's, whoops, that wasn't the right one. Close that. I can't find my call to the JVM, so we'll just type it in again. And there we go. So an object begins as a employee type, which it is. Then we assign it to E1 via a cast, and then E1 now contains the data that was stored originally in an object. So the important thing to remember about the object class is that it is at the top of the object hierarchy in Java. Another thing you want to keep in mind is that the methods toString and equals are part of that superclass. So every time we write a toString method for one of our classes or an equals method for one of our classes, we're actually overriding the toString and equals methods that are part of the object class. I didn't mention it before because I didn't want to get you confused about the object class, but just keep in mind that every time you do implement toString and equals, you're overriding a method that's part of the object class. So there's not much else to say about object that really matters for an introductory course like this, so I think I'll stop on that topic now, and we'll move on to the first exercise in working with inheritance and object-oriented programming.